first. Prefixes Lead the Way by Robin Pulver. Illustrated by Ms.NicoleReads. It was pre-dawn. The classroom was unoccupied. Or was it? Mr. Wright promised to review prefixes today. I'm impatient. The small groups of letters known as prefixes were stirring. While we're waiting, let's review our cheer. They pulled out their little horns and tooted. Tum-ta-da-tum-tum. We are prefixes, and no one could be prouder. If you cannot hear us, we'll re-yell a little louder. We know we're great because we go first. We're so proud, we're ready to burst. Tooty-toot-toot-toot. We attach to words and change what they mean. We're the greatest leaders you've ever seen. Forget the rest. Begin with the best. Prefixes. The prefixes were prepared. We'll lead root words to a new meaning. But then, the unexpected happened. President Abraham Lincoln opened the door and walked into the room. He sat down at Mr. Wright's desk, unbent his knees, and stretched out his long legs. I'd disbelieve this if I weren't seeing it with my own eyes. He wrote something on a piece of paper and dropped it into his stovepipe hat. I'm unsure. This is unusual. Is it really him? Nonsense. Abraham Lincoln is dead. Well, he's undead now. Maybe we're reliving history. The appearance of President Lincoln was unexplained. Until the students arrived. Hey, Mr. Wright, how did you grow a beard overnight? What's with the hat? It's not President's Day or Halloween. I want it to be unrecognizable, said Mr. Wright. He removed the beard and rubbed his chin. Now that he has de-bearded himself, I know it's Mr. Wright. We were misled. So, Mr. Wright, why are you dressed up like Abraham Lincoln? Because, said Mr. Wright, today is Leadership Day in our school. President Lincoln is a great example of a great leader from history. No disrespect, but we're great leaders too. It should be Prefixes Day. The prefixes blew their horns and stomped their feet. Unfortunately, they were unheard and unnoticed. Let's review what we know about President Lincoln. Lincoln was born in a log cabin. Right, he rose from humble beginnings, and he even stayed humble as the president. I wish we were mishearing this. He's supposed to review us. Is Mr. Wright suddenly anti-prefix? What does humble mean? When you're humble, you don't brag and blow your own horn. The best leaders want to use their talents to help others. Better make our horns disappear. Abe loved to read, so he walked long distances to borrow books. He was poor, but when a book he borrowed got ruined by rain, he worked hard to pay for it. He was honest and responsible. We're never dishonest or irresponsible. We would never leave a book out in the rain. That is unthinkable. Lincoln told good jokes and stories. Yes, and like all good leaders, he was a good listener too. He was friendly and caring and helpful. Good leaders set good examples. The prefixes listened carefully to everything Mr. Wright said about being good leaders. We're never unfriendly or uncaring. We connect and reconnect with root words whenever we're needed. We're always helpful. I'm stuck. Please, help. Now you're unstuck. I'll remove you to a safe place. President Lincoln's leadership changed history. Our leadership changes the meanings of words. To open a backpack, kids may need me. I turn zip into unzip. If a computer has a bug, I come in handy and change bug into debug. Good leaders work well with others. We do too. The prefixes couldn't believe how long they had to wait their turn. It's unfair. Lunch, school, book, pencil, anti-lunch, sub-school, disc book, repencil. Unable to wait any longer, they rushed and stumbled over each other to attach to words they didn't care which word they found. This is impossible. They must be joking. I love a good joke. Whoops. Guess we're being over-eager. Mr. Wright reached for his stovepipe hat. Lincoln used to say he felt undressed without it. When he put the hat on his head, a folded paper fell out. "Good grief, I forgot," he exclaimed. "Today we're supposed to review prefixes. Thank goodness Lincoln gave me the idea to keep reminders in my stovepipe hat." The prefixes shivered with excitement. "Remember," said Mr. Wright, "words that look long and hard to read are often short words with attachments like prefixes and suffixes. But unlike suffixes, we never change the spellings of our root words. If we did, we would be disobeying the rules of grammar." Mr. Wright told the kids to search the room for prefixes. Then write down 2 sentences about what you would do to help or make a difference if you were a leader. Use your prefixes. Surprise me. The prefixes made themselves easy to find. They were ready to unleash their power. I would have the power to help the whole class disappear. Then we would reappear suddenly and surprise Mr. Wright. I would lead an expedition in an anti-freeze submarine to unlock the secrets of the North Pole. I would lead groups of preschool kids back to prehistoric times so they could learn about dinosaurs, but I would not let the kids be unsafe. I would unveil a new fashion of stovepipe hats for everyone. Then we could recycle our backpacks. I would recreate the world so that animals would not go extinct. Too many animals are unappreciated and uncared for. Does our chair sound immodest? Perhaps we should review, rethink, and rewrite. We don't want to go down in history as unhumble leaders. We are the prefixes, humble, helpful leaders. Watch for us to be great readers. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Un and re are the most commonly used prefixes. Uni and bi and tri are prefixes too, as in unicycle, bicycle or bicycle, and tricycle. Also biweekly and triweekly. Prefixes are groups of words that attach to the front of words and change their meanings. If you know prefixes, you can unlock the meanings of many words. The pre in prefix is a prefix itself. It means go before. It's in front of the word fix because in this case, fix means attach. So a prefix is a group of letters that's attached to the front of a word and changes its meaning. Fun fact, President Lincoln really did keep messages and reminders in his stovepipe hat. Take a minute to pause the video. Review all of the different prefixes you can use in your own writing. See if you notice any prefixes when you read your next book.